Hey guys! Welcome back to a new episode of Okay, I Said Too Much podcast. This week we are back and exhausted. Let's recap the trip we have heard about multiple times, the cyber attack that no one is talking about, and influencers taking over New York Fashion Week. Let's grab an energy shot and stay a while. First things first, shout out to the bride. Kayla, if you are watching or listening this, I guess both because I am filming video clips today. We love you. We had a great time in Scottsdale. Let's talk about it. I have been gone for quite a bit, and for that I apologize. Life has just been lifing. Life has been trying to take me out in the best way possible. First, when I came back from Scottsdale, I was dead to the world. It was like really feeling 30. I'm really feeling like I'm 30 nowadays, and I'm trying to fight that because I'm like, I'm not living up to that stereotype of like when you turn 30 everything goes to shit. I'm not living up to it. That's not my truth. That may be your truth, but it's not my truth. I've just been like trying to get back into the swing of things. Like I have yet to really like get back into my routine. But let's talk about the trip. I want to recap where I've been the past 2 weeks. I know it's been a while. It's Wednesday. We're uploading this on Wednesday. We're changing the upload date because I'm doing video clips now. And so I want to be able to make like really cool videos for my video clips for TikTok, for the Instagram. Just because, okay, so I have been on this trend, as you know, if you've watched past episodes, I have been on this trend of watching reality dating reaction videos, and these people have the literal best editing, the best fucking editing, and I want to be on their level. So I'm like, I need an extra day for that, honestly, because honestly what will happen is I'll probably go home today and like edit all the video clips and then edit the podcast like Monday and Tuesday to be ready for Wednesday. So I had time to do everything, so I can kind of start like announcing the podcast on podcast days with video clips, and I want them to be funny. I don't want you guys to just be looking at me and being like, oh great, she looked great when she recorded. I mean, thank you. The lighting is great. I literally have my light balancing on my iPhone right now because I forgot to bring the attachment for the tripod. So I have the whole shebang. I have a tripod that a mic attaches to. The mic is plugged into the phone, so the video sounds really good. So I'm like, I got 2 mics going right now, but I also have a light, but I forgot the tripod attachment for my light, so it's bouncing literally on top of my iPhone. So we shall see if it does not get knocked over. If you guys hear it crash, it's because it got knocked over, and hopefully it's not in the middle of something great. But let's get into the recap. Let's talk about the batch trip. Amazing. I love Scottsdale. Honestly, Arizona in general will be seeing Deidre Ussery again, especially if I can get my ticket as cheap as I did this time. Literally one of the most amazing trips I've taken, and it was nice to have like a girls trip and it just be like refreshing to have like such great people around you and being able to experience really great things with really great people. So it was a beautiful time. I loved it. I had the time of my life. I hope Kayla had just as much fun. I'm gonna hit some high points. So Friday was cute. So I get what people say about Arizona, that there's not a lot of black people. I get it. I got it. But so we went to this one club, like 1111 nightclub. It was fun. I think it was more of a younger like scene, which I'm used to because if you go out in Glenwood, that's all it is. It's young people. I also wish there was a place like 1111 in Raleigh. I think there is some place in Raleigh that's kind of that vibe, but I don't be on that side of Raleigh. I kind of stick to Glenwood, which I need to get off of because we went to other places. Me and Rachel, like a couple weekends ago, went to a couple cool places in Raleigh, and I need to start doing more of that. So back to this. So Friday was cute. You know, we were all exhausted. Like we had been traveling for so long, and there's a 3-hour time difference, so we were exhausted. And then Saturday we got up early and went ATVing. Y'all, the sun in Arizona is a different type of sun. Like it's like a sun I've never experienced. Like, yes, it's dry heat, and that is good because it's not like you're automatically like sweating because it's wet in the air, but there's a big old but because everyone's like dry heat. It's so much different. Baby, we ain't got no ozone layer left. So that sun is beating down my neck. What does no humidity have to do with anything? Y'all done ate up the ozone layer. Sun is full force. Okay, so don't let people tell you like just because it's a dry heat is different. It's fucking hot. Okay, so Saturday was cute. Me and Caleb, when we got back, like we got in a pool for a little bit. We showered, got back. No, we got back, showered, and then me and Caleb went on like a little mini adventure. And ASU campus and like where it's at, so nice. Like their stadium is like built into a mountain. Like I'm pretty sure that random mountain wasn't just there. I'm pretty sure they made it look like that, but it's just cool. It's like cool scenery. Like I'm like, dang, I should have went to ASU. It was lit. You could tell people were like coming back from like some type of pregame or something for the football. Like it was nice. It's a nice little area over there. We got Dutch Bros. We went to In-N-Out. Like we had like a little excursion. We were gone. I think we were gone for like 2 hours. No one was texting us or bothering us, so I'm assuming no one cared, but we were gone for a hot minute just like exploring, because we were like we went down, we went around, and we were like, ooh, let's do this, let's like, oh, this place looks cool, let's go to Dutch Bros. I got one of their like energy like Red Bull drinks, super freaking good. In-N-Out, I don't be getting, when y'all be talking about In-N-Out, I don't really be getting a hype. It was good. Like, it was a good burger, but it was like, I wouldn't care if I'd never had an In-N-Out burger ever again in my life. You know, I wouldn't really care. So then Saturday night was probably like one of the best nights I've had in my life. Dinner. Okay, we went to Toca Madera. And it's like 10 minutes from Old Town. Literally some of the best food, the best experiences. So I had found Toca from TikTok. And so there's always a gamble with TikTok restaurants like that get hyped up on TikTok. There's always this gamble of like, is it actually going to be good or is it just aesthetics? And so I'm not taking TikTok's word for it. There can be 3,000 TikTok videos about one restaurant, and I'm still going to be like, let me go look up the restaurant on Google, because people don't hold back on Google reviews, you know? So I was like, let me look it up, see what the hype's about. Sorry, I'm moving around in my chair, and I know that makes a lot of noise. I looked it up, and there were a good amount of reviews that were like, oh, this is just like aesthetics, like it's just for people, like it's just for the vibe, like the food's really not that good. And I don't know if y'all went on a bad day or just had a bad experience. Like we had the best server, shout out to Gavin, he was great. We love him. So I don't know if we just got like super lucky that night. It was like one of those nights where like all the cards are in our favor. Like we just got like a great server who was also like, I like when servers are really proud of the restaurant they're like serving at, like they really do enjoy their job too as well. Like you can tell that he also liked his job, because then they just make the experience great. Just said Drake's coming. And I had already peeped. Okay, so we saw the OVO plane at the airport on Friday when we got in, and I had already known that like he performed in Glendale and Scottsdale, and then he didn't have shows for like the rest of the weekend or until like Sunday or something like that. So I was like, I wonder if he's gonna stick around, because like he like talked about it on his second show, like, oh, I love this place, like I'm definitely like this is the vibe. So I was like, are we gonna see Drake? I was on Drake watch all weekend. Okay, I need to meet my baby. I was on Drake watch all weekend. And so Rachel's like, oh yeah, they just told some girl Drake might come, so we need to ask our waiter about it. And he was like, he spilled the tea. He's like, oh yeah, he was here last night and blew like $150,000. We had no tequila left. You're telling me my baby was in this building? You're telling me my man was in this building? I'm breathing the same air that Drake breathed last night. Wow. That restaurant doesn't close until 1 a.m. We were in there and it was like not even 11 yet, and they start not sitting one side of the restaurant. They basically stop sitting tables. And I'm like, a nice restaurant like that, like that was like an expensive, nice restaurant. Like it's like they're gonna want to get their business all the way up until 1 a.m. basically. And so I was like, guys, they're not sitting anyone else. They are not sitting anyone else. And you can tell they're like basically closing up one side of the restaurant. And then these guys walk in and they're just sitting on that side. They're not ordering. No one's really talking to them. And I'm like, Drake's coming. This is the moment when I realized Drake was about to be in this restaurant. I was like, yo, I shall see my baby. I shall be my baby. We tried to finesse. We asked Gavin. We were like, yo, Gavin, let us stay. Like, come on. But they were kicking the servers out too. So that wasn't happening. He basically like played his album the night before there. There was no way. Unless one of those dudes had spotted us and been like, you know, grab her. There was no way. But it was a close call. And then after that, we went to Old Town. Honestly, I was a little bit worried because, okay, I think we just got lucky that night, because when you look up reviews, when you look up TikToks, they'll be like, Old Town's fun, but it's nothing but ooh, ooh, like there's not a lot of black people and there's just not a lot of hip hop being played. I will say the first bar we went to, they were playing good music, but it was definitely like young white people, which nothing wrong with that. This one dude came up to me and was like, oh, where are you guys from? And I was like, Raleigh, North Carolina. And he's like, oh, so you're one of those raging liberal girls? And I'm just putting on lip gloss. Looking at this man like, why are you talking to me? And he was like, oh, no, you're just a bad bitch. You don't care about politics. You just care about being a bad bitch. And I'm like, true. I'm a bad bitch. But... But I hate capitalism and I want to see all of it go down. I guess I am one of those raging liberal girls and you're not, so get out of my face. Weird vibes. I will definitely say I think my one qualm about Scottsdale would be I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not saying it. Never mind. Scratch that. Forget I ever said anything. Just forget I said something. But I feel like my light might die. So that was pretty much it. I will say someone told me before I left it's like Mars. And yes, I definitely get that Mars vibe. Someone also told me that Scottsdale's a lot greener than the rest of Arizona. I would definitely agree with that too as well. A time was had and then I came back. I've just been sad. So I'm using that because I have been sad and I'm using that to like fuel the rest of this year. Like I have a complete plan for the rest of this year, the rest of this podcast. Like next week's episode is my fall bucket list. I know the first day of fall was like a couple of days ago, so I am a little bit behind for that. But next week is going to be my fall bucket list. That is going to be good for singles because I feel like part of the reason why I'm sad is just like, fall time. Fall time comes around, everyone's like lovey-dovey and this and that. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I'm going to die alone. I don't care. Okay. So just cut it. So I'm giving you my single girly fall time bucket list and I'm going to do everything on it. Okay. The only thing I might not do. Okay. But let me not get into the episode for next week. Yeah, I'm just like, you know what? If I'm going to be lonely and single into the holidays, I'm just going to focus on the podcast. And so that's my goal. That's my goal for the rest of the year is to just focus on the podcast. Like, what's the best way to put this? Okay, so I was struggling last week. Last week I could have recorded and there could have been an episode. But I guess I'm just struggling with this thing. It's like I've hit a plateau in this healing journey that I'm on. So I saw a TikTok. I wish I had pulled up the TikTok so I could have the girl's name. But she was basically like, you're only going to heal so much in one phase of your life. There's only so much healing you can do in the phase you started healing in. So like for me, I was coming out of a bad relationship. I was trying to find my way, trying to get the career I wanted. And it's like, okay, I love my 9 to 5. It's so great. I'm so thankful for the job I have now. I have the podcast. That is basically like my second job. Hopefully will be my, speaking into existence, will be my full-time job one day. So I have that. Yes, I'm sad. I get sad sometimes. I'm single, but for the most part, like it's whatever. You can only do so much healing when you're in that one phase. Like nothing's really like I've worked on everything, but like since I'm not entering any new phases of life right now, I'm in a plateau. I can feel myself being in that plateau, and it's so difficult because it's like, where do I go from here? Like I don't want to be actively seeking out relationships. Like I have Hinge downloaded into my phone, but it's like I don't really like care to go on it or look at it. I'm like, I spent so much time outside and doing things by myself over the summer, and I need to get back into that routine. I feel like all my weekends have been kind of like taken up by something else. So I'm like trying to get back into that routine because that actually really made me really, really happy. And so I know that's part of it. But it's like the girl on the TikTok was basically saying like relationships are going to push you to your next healing phase, whether it's platonic, like friendship relationships, or even dating someone, because people that enter your life reflect back onto you. The people that you choose to surround yourself will reflect any bad habits. Like if you're a shitty communicator, any type of new relationship, friendship, the opposite of friendship, I can't think. Either way, new relationships will reflect poor parts, like poor traits or things that you thought you were healed from, but you're not really healed from. They'll reflect it back onto you because there's only so much healing you can do in isolation. Like you need other people to have the reflection sometimes, or you need someone, like sometimes your closest friends aren't always going to call you out on your bullshit because they're just like, oh, that's Deidre. That's how she is. Like, she might not text back. She might go ghost for a week and not talk to anyone, and she'll tweet her feelings and then not tell anyone what she's really going through. That's my number one issue. But someone that's new in your life might call you up and be like, where the fuck have you been? Like, what the fuck is going on with you? Like, you don't communicate, you don't text me back. Like, what is going on? So it's like you can't get away with certain poor behaviors when it's a new person entering your life. So I think I'm just navigating that new, because I know there's stuff I still need to work on, and I know there's stuff that I'm like probably pushed to the back because I felt good. So I was just kind of like, fuck it, I feel good, so I can push this away and not think about it. But new people entering your life will reflect that back onto you, so you can't do that. So I joined this group on Facebook a while ago. It was like meet new people for Raleigh thing, and I just posted like me in the group like, hey, I'm such and such, I have a podcast, da, da, da. So I got a lot of comments, a lot of likes. So I'm gonna start reaching out to people. I'm gonna start doing activities again. I'm gonna start making my weekends for me, and kind of like, oh, someone doesn't want to do anything, go do it. I will say I have kind of fallen back into a habit of not wanting to do things alone again, and I'm like, oh, that's gotta snap out of that real quick. I guess lucky for you guys, because in the meantime I'm just gonna put a lot of focus into me and the podcast and go from there. That is kind of my like weekly update rant for this episode, and let's get right into our trending topic. This trending topic is a wild one. I discovered this story super late on TikTok one night. It's a little old now because I didn't record last week when I should have, but it's still crazy. So shout out to Vegas Starfish. That is the page on TikTok that I learned all this from, because she's the only one talking about this. I have literally not heard anyone else talking about this, and I follow other news pages on TikTok. So shout out to her for bringing this up. But currently, MGM hotels in Vegas are under a cyber attack by hackers. Let that sink in. Cyber attack by hackers. Her last update was a couple of days ago, and it was pretty much like MGM's like, everything's fine, and employees are still kind of like, everything's really not fine. There is a chance for a strike coming up, and so I do feel like this might affect that. But let me just tell you what happened. I went down a rabbit hole. Like, I literally had to watch every single TikTok she had about this, and then I had to keep up with it because it was just so crazy to me that no one was talking about it. And I watch news. Like, it's just weird. So basically, when it first happened, nothing worked. Hotel employees were checking people in with paper and clipboards and pens like the olden days. Slot machines were not cashing out people, so you would win and it would say like, oh, you won, say $100, but it would just stay there, wouldn't give you the money. You would have to like go find someone to pay you out. So people were abandoning winnings on slot machines because of it. If you had an electric room, so basically mobile app, electric room key, the mobile app controls the blinds, the TV, the lights. People couldn't do that. People couldn't do it. A lot of people actually couldn't even get into their room with their mobile app because of the cyber attack. Cards weren't processing. People who had already been checked in and had their card on file were reporting like strange card activity that they had to like report as like fraud. ATMs were down. She had said that she had posted her videos about it, and a couple of them got taken down, which is even crazier because it's like, why are we taking down these videos? We're trying to inform people. Like, people had trips. People were checking into MGM hotels, nice hotels, and literally couldn't do that because of cyber attackers. Here is the kicker. Caesar Entertainment employees that work at Caesar hotels, which I didn't know this, sidebar, I always thought like MGM was like MGM Grand. Like, if you're staying at MGM, you're staying at MGM Grand or one of their like MGM hotels. But they actually have a lot of smaller and like cheaper hotels too. So it's not always, so you can be in a hotel and it can have another name, but that's an MGM hotel. So I think I looked up it on like booking.com. If you look up like MGM hotels, like they have like 20 plus hotels, but not all of them are like MGM. But all these hotels that fall under this umbrella and use the same like software and all that, they were all affected by this. This also happened to Caesar Entertainment, which is Caesar Hotels, which also, just because it doesn't say Caesar, it can still be a Caesar hotel. They paid these ransom hackers $15 million. $15 million. And that's probably why we didn't hear about the Caesar, because it kind of just like wrapped up really quickly. Like, they just paid the money and was just like, y'all gotta go. Which, I mean, is smart. I mean, I don't think Caesar Hotels blinking an eyelash at $15 million. Like, that's probably chump change for them, MGM was like, nah, which I don't know too much about. Like, of course, we're not going to know about the ransom until the ransom is probably paid. But you would think they would just be like, what do you guys want? Like MGM hotels. MGM has hotels everywhere. So I wonder if they were just asking for an outrageous amount. But I will say, I hate, like, okay, I'm all for, like, let's take down the man. Yes, we should absolutely be hacking billionaires and taking their money. But I don't think innocent citizens should have to be, like, risk for anything. Like, why are we doing the fraud on the credit cards and the debit cards? They're not the ones you're, like, attacking here. Like, yes, let's bring down the man. Like, I'm all for bringing down the man, but not at the expense of normal humans that are honestly probably saved up for this trip and da-da-da-da. But yeah, you can take down the man. I just don't want to hurt citizens, the process of that. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. She did an update and basically was like, MGM's acting like everything's fine and dandy. There are still some things that don't work, but like ATMs are back up and running. A lot of the casino, like slot machines are back up. And of course, employees are like, everything's not fine. Everything's still crazy. But, you know, MGM's going to put out their little like public, like, you know, everything's okay. That'll be the end of that. But let's get right into the meat and potatoes of today's episode. Guys, I really don't have much to talk about this week, but there are a couple topics that I did want to bring up. So yeah, let's get right into them. So I have a question, and maybe I'm just showing my age here, but like, when did influencers start going to New York Fashion Week? Okay, now I get, like, influencers aren't sitting front row at, like, fucking Prada and Chanel and all that, okay, I get it. But, like, I feel like I've seen way more influencers talking about New York Fashion Week than I did, like, actual celebrities. Like, I know there were celebrities there, but I feel like maybe it's just because I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and so, like, influencer stuff is the things that get pushed, like, out to me. But, like, did celebrities go to New York Fashion Week? Or am I tripping? Because I ain't seen none of that. I mean, I'm not knocking anyone's hustle. Like, if you took, like, the career of, like, making videos of yourself and putting them on the internet and turned it into, like, going to New York Fashion Week, awesome. I'm so proud of you. I'm just confused. Because I just remember when I was younger, like, New York Fashion Week being New York Fashion Week. Like, everyone's out there. Everyone's getting pictures. I don't know. Maybe it's because Rihanna just had a baby. So I'm, like, expecting something. I don't know. I feel like I followed lots of celebrities, but all I've seen is influencers talking about Fashion Week. It's a little bit better now with like Paris and Milan Fashion Week, because I feel like those are like, you know, those are the exclusive clubs. But I'm like, where are the celebrities? Where are the people where are the girlies that really be putting it on? Like, even like Kylie, I had like a couple of events in New York, but I feel like she's definitely been out way more and doing way more stuff at like the Paris and Milan Fashion Week. Is New York Fashion Week dated? Is it dead? I mean, Naomi Campbell had her runway with Pretty Little Thing because she did the collab with Pretty Little Thing. But like, are the runways dead? I don't know. It's just weird. It's very weird to me. I thought I had stopped when I just took my light like got super hot, and so it's like not as dim, it's not as bright anymore. That was just 2 minutes of nothingness because I thought I had stopped recording. I just saw all TikTok and YouTube influencers talking about Fashion Week, so I thought it was crazy. Yeah. My next topic is a controversial one. Barb's, I'm so sorry, but I gotta talk about her. I don't want to do this, okay? And the universe is telling me not to. That's why my light just died. But I gotta talk about her, Barb's. I'm sorry. And okay, it's nothing about her personally. Nicki Minaj. I want to be a Nicki fan so bad. I am a Nicki fan. I love Nicki. I love her music. I'm really excited for her album in November. But I feel like I also, in good conscience, can be a Nicki fan because of her husband. I feel like that is making it so hard on me to be like a true Nicki fan now because of who she's married to. And it sucks because I feel like her marriage to him has been the downfall of like honestly her overall attitude. And I guess I'm missing something in the timeline because what she wants from these new women rappers is what she didn't give Lil' Kim when she came into the game. Like, I feel like she went out of her way to say terrible things and just kind of be crappy towards Lil' Kim when she first came out. But now you want all these other rappers that now come out to bow down to you and give you all of this respect and be like, of course, women rappers now have the career they do because of Nicki. Of course, like, Nicki did pave the way, but like, someone paved the way before you and you didn't care. So it just sucks. It's disheartening. Another thing I can add on to this that's also disheartening is Drake. Why? I don't get the commenting on Megan Thee Stallion. I don't understand that. So he was in Houston and he was like, shout out to Meg. Not that Meg, this Meg. And it's like, you could have just said shout out to that Megan that you were talking about. You didn't have to bring in that at all. So it's just very weird. I'm like, what's happening with Young Money when like Lil Wayne is the quietest one out of all of y'all? What is happening? I feel like at that point that says a lot when Lil Wayne is the one that, like, for the most part, shutting the hell up. And so it's like, it's like, Drake, I be supporting you, and then you just say wild stuff. But I will say this, like, I think it's very telling. We see Drake as Drake. Like, it's, oh my God, it's Drake. Literally how I just talked about him in the beginning of the episode. But I feel like celebrity women see Drake completely different. And I think my theory is, like, when you probably have, like, if you could think of, like, Meg Thee Stallion's, SZA's, Rihanna's, like, DMs at one point, I probably wouldn't be picking Drake either out of all of those, you know, because he does just give, like, light-skinned man who knows he look good vibe, and it just be kind of corny sometimes. Love him to death, and that's still my baby. And I just bought a new Drake shirt the other day because I thought I was gonna go to the concert and didn't. So it's like, that's always gonna be my man's pots and pans. But when you can make a tweet about Nicki and Drake and not put who it's about, and you could almost think like it could be about either one of them. So I'm like, y'all need to, like, get together because you guys are two legends of the game and you act like that, and it's so disheartening, honestly. So I guess I should probably put like a trigger warning for this next topic, but I have to talk about it. It's been heavy on my brain because of something that happened yesterday, and I'm kind of glad I didn't finish recording. Oh, it's Monday, by the way. I did not finish recording on Sunday, so I'm doing it on Monday. And if you are not on Twitter, Black Twitter probably, or Black side of TikTok, you probably don't know about this, but Chrisean Rock and Blueface, they were good and now they're not good. Of course, you know, that is the up and down cycle. I'm not going to say what Blueface did on my podcast because it's just so inhumane, undescribable. Lock him up, throw away the key, death by firing squad. I just, I don't know what else to say. But here is my thing about Chrisean and Blueface. Zeus needs to cut every show. They need, like, his Twitter is currently banned. Like, his Twitter got, like, completely taken away. But I think the root is that they still have a platform. And I think for safety reasons for the baby, like, it is kind of okay that we can see all these things because, normal people call CPS on influencers, celebrities all the time. Well, maybe not celebrities, but definitely influencers and people like who put their life online. People call CPS on them all the time. So I think there is a good and bad in that, but this type of relationship, you need to cut off the watering source. And the watering source for this relationship is they're on TV. They're making money from Zeus Network and all their other things. They have platforms, like, all that needs to be, like, taken down. All of it. Every single bit of it. Like, scrub Blueface, please, from the freaking internet. Scrub him from the internet. I don't want to see him ever again. You can mute all the words about them and you're still going to see them. And it's so annoying. I'm just over it. I'm over it. Cut it off. I don't even understand how Zeus Network is still a thing because it's like literally bottom of the barrel TV. But I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see Chrisean crying on live. I don't want to see Jaden, her weird self, making comments like, go put food in your pantry for your kid. It's so disheartening because now there's 2 kids, or I don't know how many kids Blueface has. I know of 2. I don't know if there's more. Those people are the real ones suffering in the situation. That's the worst part of all of it, honestly. I will probably never talk about them ever again, but it's just been heavy on my mind lately, and I feel like we're not saying the real source of the problem, and the source of the problem is that Zeus Network keeps giving these people the most toxic platform to be toxic on, and I feel like Zeus Network just needs to go. It just needs to go. Who's funding it? Where are they getting the money from? Because it just needs out of here. I think we go through phases where it's just like, what is going on with pop culture? Like, what is going on? And that's how I feel right now. And so I think that's another reason why I haven't been recording, because I know that the podcast is heavy pop culture. That's like what it's about, pop culture, me, what I'm going through. And sometimes the internet is depressing. I tweeted that. I think I talked about that early in the episode, but sometimes just pop culture is depressing. One good thing, Usher is performing at the Super Bowl. What's something else I can talk about? Okay, I had to talk about the elephant in the room. I think it's the elephant in the room because people would expect me to talk about it. I need y'all to understand one thing about the situation. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Okay. This is my issue with this situation is there's a lot of white men who bite off black culture to get them to a certain point. And then as soon as they don't need it anymore, as soon as they have in his case, the commercials, the SNL skits, as soon as they have that, they don't need black culture anymore. Let's be really real. If you're a woman and you don't actively watch sports, what moment did you learn about Travis Kelce? And tell me that it did involve Kayla Nicole, because that is when you learned about them. Because what really went viral, what went famous, was when he wins the Super Bowl and the video of her jumping and meeting him on the field. That went viral. Like, that has went viral triple times over, okay? And so then it was like, okay, who's this dude dating this beautiful black woman? And then the facade of Travis Kelce blows up. Him and Kayla Nicole broke up. He definitely kind of dogged her out on podcasts and stuff like that, which is fine. She's had her podcast and said her things. Like, she's gone on podcasts and said her things. Now that you have the fame, the recognition, the status, okay, now I can date a white woman, but I'm gonna keep biting from black culture, but date a white woman. It's just weird. I feel like I have not truly said that, because especially now, I made a TikTok that, got a good mileage on it, saying like, black woman to black woman, we know why the relationship is weird, but if I say it, they will be mad. They, as in Taylor Swift fans, because it's also weird that Taylor Swift was seen with a dude who had publicly said very inappropriate racist comments about black women, and now she is actively seeing someone who bites off of black culture. That's not a PR stunt. I don't know one, because that's just weird. Because Travis Kelce's in his like everyone loves him phase, and I think like it's like clean up for her, because it's like you dated someone who said the worst of the worst things about black women, and now you are, whatever they're doing, dating someone who has notoriously dated black women and blown up from dating a black woman. If that's not weird to y'all, I don't know what the fuck is. They can go be happy. They're celebrities. I don't care. Go be happy. But if that's not weird to you, you're probably part of the problem, if I'm being honest. Well, guys, next week it's going to be Love is Blind. I'm back in the reality TV circuit because Love is Blind has a new season. So that'll be next week. But yeah, let's get right into our song of the week. So I'm taking it way back with my song of the week this week, because I was listening to it on Sunday and it was just putting me in the best mood. So the song of the week this week is, how many times am I going to say week? How many times am I going to say week? Oh my God, I can't even talk. But the song of the week is All I Do by Stevie Wonder. Fantastic song. Great song. I'm literally about to go listen to it in my car on my way home right now. So good. Such a good vibe. Such a good throwback. And also in the song, he says, I light a candle every night and pray that your feelings never change or your feelings stay the same. Something like that. That is witchcraft. And I relate to that a lot. So I don't know, just hit the spot the other day when I was listening to it, and I was like, this is such a beautiful song. So I want to tell you guys about it, because I said in the last episode I posted, I was like, I can put you guys on to a lot of good music that you might not know about. So I need to do more of that. So that is the song of the week, All I Do by Stevie Wonder. Let me tell you guys where to find me. So the Instagram is ISTM.podcast, and I am posting more on TikTok. And so that is just my name with 4 extra A's added onto it. So DEADRAAAA. So it's 3 extra A's. Excuse me. But I love you guys, and I will see you next week.